Regular council meeting to order. Under presentations this evening, we have none, and Councillor Hoffert is joining us from Hawaii. He's looking out his front room and it looks beautiful. It's palm trees and ocean, so we're all jealous. Okay. So we have nothing this evening under presentation. Could I have a motion, please, to adopt the agenda as presented? Thank you, Councillor Yanish. Seconded, Councillor Frank. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, could I have a motion, please, to accept the minutes of the council meeting held on November 20th, 2017. Councillor Vroba, seconded by Councillor Moore. Questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Not that easy, is it?
Next, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have the council meeting schedule for 2018. Council has had an opportunity to go over this. Any questions or comments? If not, could we have a motion, please, to accept the meeting schedule for 2018? Thank you. Councillor Yanish, have we got a seconder? Councillor Frank, any further questions? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, next, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have from the Ministry of Government Relations a proposed residential subdivision, LS 13-4-3-7, west of the 2nd Meridian. So basically, City Manager, these are nothing that fall outside of the agreement we already have with the RM. These are all over 5 acres, correct?
Correct.
So what's the wish of council on this subdivision? Councillor Nibbs?
Acceptance and approval.
Okay, thank you. Have we got a seconder?
Seconder.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Hoffert. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, next, under written reports of committees, we have the Souris Valley Museum minutes of November 15th. Could we have a motion to accept these? Thank you, Councillor Yanish, seconded by Councillor Moore. Any questions or comments or anything, Councillor Yanish, you would like to add?
In here, in approval of the minutes, it talks about the fire truck will remain here, but that's still an open issue.
Right.
Oh, sorry, Your Worship. Thanks.
No, that's okay.
In the minutes, it talks about the fire truck remaining at the museum, but that's still an open issue, and I clarified that with them after. So. Okay,
thank you. Yeah, I know the fire chief is still continuing to have discussion on that. Okay, thank you. Okay, then, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, next, under executive reports, we have the fire chief's report of the civic inspection. I'll just go. Okay, thank you, Councillor Hoffert. Have we got a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Nibbs. All in favor? Carried. I'll just go over quickly the conclusions. Estevan Fire Rescue Service, much like any other occupancy in the response area, with incident command doing a hazard assessment and risk-benefit analysis based on the type of emergency we are responding to. Example, working structure fire, chemical release of ammonia, etc. All emergency responses keep the 3 fireground priorities: life safety, incident stabilization, and property conservation in place no matter what may be occurring and may transition from one to another during the incident as it evolves and variables are taken into consideration. Great attention during an emergency response would be emphasized on looking for signs of structural compromise of the building and ensuring all responding apparatus is safety staged outside of the collapse zone of the occupancy, 1.5 times the height of structure. The engineer's report indicating an existing state of structural compromise to the occupancy cannot and will not be ignored, by Estevan Fire Rescue, as this has a direct effect on the first and most important fireground priority, which is the life safety of the firefighters and the occupants inside the building during an emergency. Rest assured that EFR will do everything within its power to rescue anyone trapped or that is deemed salvageable within the occupancy based on a calculated risk, as long as it will not cost the firefighters or citizens' life and well-being in the process. So I just wanted to add that. That's from our Fire Chief, Dale Feaser. So moving on, under executive reports, we've got from the building inspector, which we also asked for the Civic Municode inspection report. Now, did you want to speak to that, City Manager?
Thank you, Your Worship. Out of the last council directive, they were asking for a fire report, a report from our the company that we use, our building code classifications form, Unicode,
yep.
And as well as SAS Power and Sask Energy. SAS Power and Sask Energy declined to provide any comment other than that they provide service up to our property line. They weren't going to speak on anything inside of our property line. And included is a response from Unicode, kind of indicating that they'd be unable to provide this level of service that the engineering report was, and that they'd only comment on code-related discrepancies.
Okay, thank you for that, City Manager. Any other questions or comments from members of council? Okay, could we have a motion, please, to accept the building inspector's report? Thank you. Councillor Vroba, seconded by Councillor Nibs. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under executive reports, and we have Helen here tonight, our EMO coordinator, is the mutual aid agreement and bylaw. Helen, good evening, and if you wouldn't mind speaking or sitting up to the mic and briefly explaining to us what this is all about, and thank you for all of your efforts in this regard.
Thank you, Your Worship. So it's been 1993 since we last had a mutual aid agreement. A mutual aid agreement is an agreement between some parties, and it's our surrounding RMs, communities, and villages. And that's to have before, during, and after emergency, to have an emergency agreement of resources that we can put together right away. It became apparent in 2011 that Estevan wasn't the only community that was suffering from flooding. Our neighboring communities were asking us for help. We were all working together, and it was evident after that, and then again in 2014, and then the snowstorm last year, that it's becoming more and more popular, these events, and it's just not affecting Estevan. So I got the group together, and we actually have 3 more partners that are new, that are now on base. And then when the agreement says it is assigned, it isn't signed. What has happened is all the parties have provided me written approval, and now what has to happen is if council approves it, then the mayor will have all the mayors come in and sign all at once with your worship.
Okay, thank you very much, Helen, for all of your work in this. Any questions or comments from members of council? If not, thank you again for your work. And could we have a motion, please, under introduction of bylaws? I guess I'll bring that forward. But thank you, Helen, for your report, and keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. So next, under introduction of bylaws, we'll have bylaw 2017-1992 to establish mutual aid. We'll give this first reading, hear back from our community. And after that, after 2 weeks, we'll give second and third reading for adoption for use. So could we have a motion, please, this evening? Thank you, Councillor Nibs, seconded by Councillor Yanish. Any further questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Thanks again, Helen. Next, under introduction of bylaws, we've got bylaw 2017-1991 to establish the Economic Development Board, first reading. Here again, we've had an Economic Development Board before, but this is an updated version. We've now got Fitz Bramble on board as our Economic Development Officer. He's doing a great job, and this will put, the bylaw will put the teeth into the fact that we have now a practicing economic bylaw officer and some given guidelines to go by. So again, could we have a motion, please, to give first reading this evening to bylaw 17, 1991. Okay, thank you, Councillor Hoffert. Seconded by Councillor Vroba. Any further questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you so much. Under public hearings and reports, we have none this evening. Giving notice, we have nothing this evening. Motions from committee, we have none. Consideration of bylaws, we have none this evening. So we'll move to inquiries. Councillor Vroba.
I have none this evening.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Yanish.
None tonight, Your Worship.
Thank you. Councillor Frank.
Just going to encourage this Thursday is the downtown, what's it, I'm trying to remember the name
Downtown Business.
Downtown Business Association, which on the kickoff to Christmas
Kickoff,
is what it's
yep,
called.
that's
Thank
right.
you. So please come down, support your local businesses on Main Street here, and have a good time.
Thank you so much, Councillor Frank. And that starts at
6 o'clock. but
6 o'clock.
6:30 for the lighting of the tree.
Okay, 6:30 will be lighting of the tree, hot chocolate, candy canes for the kids, and Councillor Frank has got a whole hymnal book that he's going to sing hymns, and everyone that comes will be welcome to sing along with him. It will be a totally joyous occasion.
I'll be singing, and that'll force you into all the stores downtown, that's for sure.
Okay, thank you for that. Councillor Nibbs?
Just a big congratulations to the students. I went and watched the School of Rock performance, and it was amazing. All
It
the
really
work they
was.
put into it, so.
Yes,
Yeah.
hopefully most of us all made it. I know I went the other night, Councillor Nibbs, it was tremendous. Your son did a fantastic job. I mean, some of them people, I think they have a career in acting if they want it. I
Yeah,
mean, it was absolutely tremendous. It really was.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you. Councillor Moore?
Thank you, Worship. I would just like to pay special attention to Doug Barnstable, Calvin Johnson, and Dan Jenish for heading up the group that put the newest home up and the newest homeowner. And it was a good event. It was well turned out for people, and hats off to those folks for doing such a good job gathering up the community and the people that donated their time, monies, and energies to see this happen, and it's a very good job.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Councillor Moore, and thank you for attending. And thank you so much to, again, the community volunteers. I know, Roberta, you helped out a lot. Along with the three gentlemen mentioned, many, many people came with their hammers and helped out to build that house and to put the finishing touches on. It truly was a community project. So, again, we'd like to take our hats off to our community for coming together and doing such a fantastic job. Thank you. Anything else? Okay, thank you. I would just like to mention, along with all of the other things that have already been mentioned, that the CPR train is coming December 15th at 3 p.m. To our city. So hopefully the schools will let the kids out a bit early. I don't think they would mind that, to come and hear some entertaining music. And I believe that we'll have the Salvation Army there to collect donations. So if you remember, please give or bring whatever you can give, and we'll put in the back of the Salvation truck that they have there for that. And we look forward to another exciting event. So anything else this evening? City Manager?
Nothing to add, Your Worship.
Nothing. City Clerk? Nothing to add? Oh, we have Councillor Hoffert. My God, he's sitting right here before me. Councillor Hoffert, what would you like to say this evening?
How could you forget, Your Worship?
Oh, sorry about that. You seemed smaller than usual, but sorry about that.
Maybe quieter.
Maybe quieter, okay.
Thank you for the opportunity. The Woodlawn Regional Park, Christmas in the Park, December 17th. That's when we'll be kicking off the Festival of Lights. There's several entries that have brought their name forward, and we're still looking for more. So that's a great event for our community, and look forward to that starting on the 17th. I also wanted to thank the entire community and Southeast Saskatchewan, for that matter, for their generosity towards St. Joseph's Hospital through the St. Joseph's Hospital Foundation Festival of Trees that was held recently at Affinity Place, and give a great deal of credit to the city staff and management who were involved in setting that up and making it another success. And finally, I wasn't aware that Councillor Frank was musically inclined, but I can't wait to hear him sing either.
Yes, no, it'll be a fantastic evening. Thank you. And in case no one heard, Councillor Hoffert had a couple of very good points. Festival of Lights, which he has been involved with. down at the park, December 17th. That'll be a great event. And also St. Joseph's Hospital Foundation, another great event, the Festival of Trees. We raised between $80,000 and $100,000, so again, we can't thank our community enough. We've got the businesses always coming forward to help us out, and members of our community. And I know I'd like to thank Councillor Hoffert, because I know him and his family, my goodness. Greg had a dollhouse that was beautiful. He put that together in his own time and money. That raised, I think, $4,000. His dad had 2 or 3 things there at the silent auction. So my goodness, the Hoffert family was to be commended that night. And thank you for all of your efforts, Greg. Also, Becky Conley, who does a tremendous job, and all of our staff that helped out so much. Truly a great event. Thank you. Okay. With that, I'm going hoarse, so it must be time to adjourn. Have we got a motion to move into committee, please? Thank you, Councillor Hoffert. Seconded by Councillor Yanish. All in agreement?
Aloha, guys.
Yes. Aloha. Thank you, Greg. We stand adjourned. Thank you.